Welcome back to Eco, and today we're going to be expanding the house off camera, so you don't have to watch me put up lots of logs. But before I start that, I did want to just re-mention something I think I mentioned in the earlier episodes, and that is to make sure before you start doing all this kind of stuff, to craft the BU1, the basic upgrade 1 that goes through 1 through to 5, before you get to advanced tier anyway, and you're going to want them in all of your stations, so do craft the basic upgrade 1s, saves you 10% resources, saves you 10% time, and all that good stuff. So yeah, do that first before you start expanding your house. I think I'm going to expand mine to the left and to the right, and probably forwards towards me, because I can fill in this area with earth that I dig out from around the sides and behind it. So yes, I should have plenty of room. That'll give me more room inside to fit more furniture and get more bonuses and good stuff like that. So forward we go. As we're going to be going into campfire cooking today, that's my next star. Speaking of which I will take in campfire cooking. That was good timing. Up here, campfire cooking, specialize. Yes, this will make a whole bunch of recipes available in the campfire, as you might imagine. A pineapple? That is a pineapple. So we're going to want some food for that, and food out here in the jungle, which is to the north of my base. And you can find lots of things. The main things you're going to want to pick up are all the fungi you can see, so mushrooms of various kinds. And you're also going to want to pick up many papayas, which are these things. The things with basically it looks like small versions of pumpkins in the branches. Pick them all up. You're going to be able to craft them all into a particular stew. We're going to want a few different types of stew to keep everything balanced, but this is certainly one of them. How many papayas have I picked up so far? Where are they in my inventory? 65. I think that's going to be enough for now. And also mushrooms. So I've got 20-30 mushrooms, so I'll probably pick up a few more and head back to camp. I'm back at the campfire. You want to be able to craft a jungle campfire stew. It's campfire cooking 3, so we don't have it just yet. We'll have to basically craft some other stuff first. But as you can see, that gets papayas and mushrooms, both of which are really easily available. And fat, which will come from basically crafting up any kind of animal that you catch and well, cook. So there's also meaty stew down here that you can get with just meat and fat. That will actually do as well if you're on campfire cooking 3. But again, we don't have that choice right now, so we're probably going to want to choose something else from further up. Jungle campfire salad may well do that. I think that is also campfire cooking. So yes, why don't we, in fact, we just check here, hold down control, hover over here, and does it say? Yes, campfire cooking 1. Okay, so that's perfectly fine to craft. We've got some papayas, we've got some pineapples, and we've got some greens of various kinds. So that can be beet greens or fiddleheads or whatever. So if we just craft up, say, do we have a module in here? We don't have a module in here. Oh no, we must make modules. Where are the modules? I have crafted one. Yes, there it is. Just to make sure you save on having to go and grab more resources. You want to save as much as you can. So let's just craft, I don't know, maybe use up all 7 of the pineapple. Yep, let's use them all up. And put in the work, and off it goes, and we should have some better food. They won't show a huge trend in the number upwards, at least initially, because of all the other stomach contents we've got in here. It has to go away first. But mainly I want to get this to get high levels of campfire cooking, which will then let me make the better stuff down here. So the jungle campfire stew is very good. There are others as well. Let's see if they're in here. Root campfire stew is also very good. You can see this is quite balanced, so you would want that as well. And a few others, but yeah, those are the main 2 to actually get early on, at least in my opinion. You may have others. If so, put them in the comments, and I'm off to build a house again. Following along with the basic upgrade theme that we talked about a little bit earlier, we're going to want to basically craft the basic upgrade 2s, and that's in Masonry, so in Masonry 4 in particular. So we're going to want to take Masonry skill, so I want to make sure that you all following along get the basic upgrades as soon as possible. It means you have to do less work overall. So we're going to want to get the Masonry skill book down here, so we can order one, apply some calories, but it doesn't really get us any further because we need to get 2 geology research paper basics. So we need 2 of these, and all they really need is rocks. So you can put them both on, and that should be that. So there we go. And there already is some rocks in storage, I think. In the stockpile, maybe? There were. Maybe it's take them all up. We have some out here, so it's no big deal either way. And I have the rest of mining over there. Speaking of mining, I did get mining 3, so let's just take a look at that. Survivalist, where's mining? There you are. So mining 3, you get a choice. Now, previously with the axe, I chose to get this one. Tier of related tools by 1. The thing that does for mining is if you're a higher tier of tool, it breaks rocks more easily. However, I'm going to be breaking sandstone and iron ore because it's in the desert, at least for right now, so I don't need that. But I would perhaps appreciate lowering the calorie cost. So I'm going to take and lower the calorie cost for this one, but higher tier because there's lots of different kinds of trees around me for the logging. So both of those are good. Campfire cooking, I did get up to 3, so I'm now on to making stews, or I'll be making those, and I will... speed of related tables when alone. Yes, I'm going to take that one as well. The other one is useful for like mass production with lots and lots of crafting tables in the same room, but of the same kind. But I don't generally do that, so that's not so big a deal for me. Are you finished yet? You're going to need. Is it just you out of fuel? No. What are you actually out of? Campfire laboring. You should be processing, no? Oh, missing fat. That's why. So it's missing fat for the first one. Will you even process? Oh, it's got no storage space. That's why. So we need somewhere for it to be able to dump storage. And off it goes. So that's going to drop those in. And away we go. Okay. So for here, yes, where's it going? Mining. So all I'm going to be doing is breaking sandstone over that hill. Luckily, this surface, which is right the same surface outside my house, is the same height as the surface over here, where that stockpile is. Not that one, that one. So we should be able to build a road here later, which will be easier for me to transport handcart stuff backwards and forwards, and even this entire area is in a hollow. Might be interesting to basically make more stuff in here specifically. Maybe this will be our smelting area. Smelting areas start to get polluted, and you start to have to deal with that, so it's up to you entirely where you build them. Generally, it's good to build them closer to the mines, though. Basically, what you'll be doing is you'll be taking iron ore, you'll be crushing it into crushed iron ore, and then turning that into concentrate. Now, this is a difference versus the previous update. You used to drink, I think it used to just go basically into crushed into iron, I think. Someone can correct me down below. But anyway, this update, you certainly need to crush it down into crushed iron ore, and then into concentrate, and then from concentrate you can smelt it into iron. However, during that process you'll generate tailings, and tailings are a subject that we'll come on to another time. You basically have to store them deep or under the ground, or you store them up here, and then you'd have to deal with ground pollution, which kills plants. So it's not really very good to put them anywhere near your farms. Just a bit of a suggestion there. Anyway, so I'm just going to need to put these rocks in, and we'll be able to get the masonry as the next one. How far am I away? Comedy amount 3 hours 22 minutes. Oh my! I better go with the expansion. It started. I promise. Somewhat more cooking later. We've got some supplies now down here. We've got some meaty stew, we've got some jungle campfire stew, and jungle campfire salad. The meaty stew is just easy way of converting all your old charred meat and a bit of fat across into something that's actually the next tier up. And of course, it has high protein and fat there. You can see what do we actually need. Just look for the lowest and pick basically the meal that corresponds to it. So in this case, fat and vitamins are both low or slightly low. So if you just go for vitamins, this one will do for now. And then some fat, so from here, and we get slightly unbalanced, but we'll have an opportunity to correct that. There is more tier 2 in here, but you can see I'm now over 200 nutrition, and that will increase as my stomach empties of other stuff, and my house is 37.2. That does remind me, the icebox should be done. I just hit carpentry 5 up here, which should give me the icebox. There we go. And if I go and put that in the room upstairs, it should then count as a kitchen, I believe. It's been a little while since I needed to use an icebox, but let's just put it there for now. And you can see, yep, immediately jumps up to 44.7. And you can see I have a kitchen, I have a bedroom, I have a bathroom, and I need a general room as well. This has converted this room across from a general room into a kitchen. If I pick that up again, the same thing should happen. Let's just take a look. So yep, now it's a general room, a bedroom, a bathroom, etc. So I could just put a wall across here, and then I get 2 rooms out of it. So if I just grab some Do I have any hewn logs left? It doesn't matter what type right now. Ooh, not enough. Okay, I'll get some more done, but you get the idea. Just put a wall across. Out here, I am building something that is a lot nicer with these window blocks. Very, very nice to actually build with. And then we can just move everything out and extend it and fit in more furniture. So I'm off to do that. Hunting level 6 got, so now we get a choice of 2 talents. We get a choice of aggressive angler hunting with no function, or we get arrow recovery. I think we're going to take arrow recovery. Yes, the hunting is a really weird one. There is only one really choice at each tier because the other one hasn't been implemented yet, but it's to do with fishing. And of course, fishing is only really tier 1 food, sort of really horrible-ish food, so I'm not going to worry about that too much. Now, I am about 3 hours, 1 hour 58 minutes now because I've improved my housing score away from the next star, but because I have relatively little to do now, what I'm going to do is probably sleep through that using the bed, which I moved off into that new bedroom extension. And that will get us further forward at the expense of calories and, of course, time for the meteor. But we have plenty of time here, so I could just get that. Oh, and if you get attacked by wolves like this, they do take calories off you and teleport. But take calories off you mostly. And, of course, you can just take them out with your hunting skill, which now should be pretty good if you've been following along. So there we go. So masonry and basic engineering will have to be the next ones, I think. Masonry probably first to get the basic upgrade 2, and then carpentry for the basic upgrade 3. And I think I can never remember what basic upgrade 4 is. Maybe it's the smith and smelting, which we haven't got to yet. So I'm off to sleep, and I'll bring you back once I get the next star. And there's my masonry skill book. I can use that to skill scroll, and we get 5 more land claims, which I definitely don't need, but I'll use. And then that means I can then take a specialization. In this case, masonry. So where are you? In here somewhere. There we go, masonry. Let's take that. Yes, it'll permanently consume a star. And that then unlocks the masonry table for me to use and to make various things. Kilns, that takes you towards bricks and stuff like that, and pottery, which are of improved decorations, that sort of thing. So we can make one of those. It'll need a fair amount of space to actually do, but that's something else. And you're also going to want to eventually put that into a brick room. So we need to have to deal with some various stuff. But importantly, that's not straight away. Straight away, we're going to have to get some XP into masonry. So we want masonry mortar made with sand. Just as a matter of principle, that looks like sand. It is not sand. This is dirt. Sand is a sort of slightly greenish version of this. So it is often found just below the surface. So whereby you can see right there is sandstone, which we will be able to grind up into sand, by the way. So don't worry about that once we get to rocker boxes. So that's the primary source of sand. But you can find it in the world just a few blocks down from the surface in deserts in particular. So I can't see any right now, annoyingly. But as soon as I see some actual sand, I will show you actual sand. But for now, assume that we're just going to grind it down from sandstone from our mining activity and stuff like that. That will get you some experience into masonry. But the other source, which we can probably do straight away, is you can make charred mortar from the campfire instead of masonry mortar. And then you can just basically bring it rocks of any kind, and it'll start producing mortared stone. Mortared stone is another tier 1 material. You can use it instead of lumber, not lumber. I shouldn't call it lumber. Lumber's tier 2. This is hewn logs. You can use it instead of hewn logs if you want to. There is no need to replace hewn logs with it, however. It is... it's exactly identical to you. You will not get any benefit. If you want to build extensions to your house, however, you can build it with mortar stone instead of replacing or using, other things. So your choice entirely. There are then also some other different bits and pieces that you can use for decoration. Stone braziers, some chairs, mortar stone chairs, I should say. Made out of more stone, obviously. And then you can see what we really want to get to is masonry 4 here for the basic upgrade 2. Pottery is also made at this station, and then these statues. These statues are quite useful again for decoration, but you need more space. The bison is like 2x3 floor size, and it goes up to, I think, as well. So it's gigantic. It consumes 100 rocks, but it does give you a good housing benefit. So it's your choice entirely. Skill value of 2. That's where you get the housing benefit from. However, the limestone wolves are smaller by far. They're 1 by 2 by 1, I think, and skill value of 1.5. So I generally go with the wolf statues. They're less than half the cost of 1 bison as well, so they're quite good. And then you've got the usual kind of stuff here with different stuff you can make with mortared stone. So basically lots and lots of mortared stone, and just bring it rocks. That's all you need to do. So speaking of bringing it rocks, let me just put an order on here so it'll actually start working whenever it's got some rocks in range. Speaking of rocks, we are going to want basic engineering next, I think, for the wood cart, and obviously the wooden wheel will mix the wooden cart, but they and the stone road will let us get around using carts quite easily or quite quickly by comparison to dragging it over dirt roads like this. So basic engineering should be next. For me, that's another 6 hours, 36 minutes. I could just sleep through to get that next star. I think I already have the basic engineering book. I do. So I've used these 3. I need the basic engineering skill book. I think maybe I've already used the scroll. Let's just take a look. Basic engineering, I have already used the scroll, so that's perfectly fine. I can just sleep through another 6 hours if I want to do that straight away. I'm not sure if I needed to do anything else right now. I could just make rocks for more mortared stone, but that wouldn't really get me, that will get me to the basic upgrade too. So yeah, let me get to that, and then we'll go and get basic engineering. You'll note also that this mortared stone recipe makes the type of stone that you're feeding into it. So if you want it for decorative purposes, like red walls or grey walls, you want to make sure you're feeding the right kind of stone. Sandstone happens to be the easiest one to break, so everything is going to be made out of mortared sandstone for me. But for you, that's up to you entirely. Are you finished with my upgrade 1 before I start making stone en masse? There we go. That can go in, and then just feed in, I don't know, 60. Yeah, it's more than we have, but it doesn't matter. It'll just carry on crafting. As and when I add more stone, you can see I'm cutting through the hillside ahead of me to get to the mine, rather than jumping over the top every time. And with that, we now have the ability, or getting to Masonry 4, we now have the ability to make basic upgrade 2s. That means we can also make basic upgrade 3s, which are right here, and which I've already made one, which should be in storage somewhere. That's a basic upgrade 3, I think. Yes, basic upgrade 3, and then it'll say used in basic upgrade 4 recipe, and we can see that that is basic engineering. So that's a good thing. We're going to take that next. So yes, however, that doesn't mean I can put this back through and change that to be 40% less cost for everything and 40% faster. So again, we're going to do the same thing and upgrade yet another basic upgrade 1. Do the same thing for all of the machines, get them all back up to the highest basic upgrade you can, and on we go, and off to sleep, I think. And all that basic upgrades got me to basically Carpentry 6. You got a choice in here, again, just like normal. Frugal Workspace. I never take Frugal Workspace. I always take Lavish Workspace. It reduces the resource needed by 5%, but raises the tier requirement of tables. That's okay, because you can then just basically craft a better room. If you have a look in here, it basically has upgraded this amount that we need, but our room is already much better than that anyway. Just be aware of that kind of thing. However, when you get a machine that needs, let's say it needed 0.9 and you had a 1 room, and then you pushed it up by 20% or whatever, you wouldn't have a good enough room anymore. So yeah, bear that in mind when you're actually crafting stuff. But otherwise, yet more basic upgrades should be popping out here. Do you have, what are you missing? Oh, you're missing the number 2. Fine, off we go again. And it's nighttime again, so we've got the basic engineering skill to go. We've also got some masonry talents to go for. So in here, again, speed of a single table is what I'm going to go for there. And up here, again, the sort of lavish workspace are reducing the requirements. Let me just double check what that's needed for the masonry table, because I could have made a mistake. No, it's perfectly fine. Needed 0.4. We're in nearly a 1 room, so that's perfectly okay there. And that means I want, whoops, not / I want Z, and then I want to basically go into here and take basic engineering. So we'll take that as a star, yes. So obviously we get the usual stuff, calorie reduction benefits and stuff like that. However, the Wainwright table is now ours to use. And as a basic engineer on a server, remember I've got like, how many stars? We've got 8. You'll only ever get
on a high collab server, you'll only probably ever get 7 stars really before it finishes. So remember, a lot of this stuff that I'm doing right now, you won't need to actually do on a server. You will skip things instead of actually doing all these research yourselves. You will basically put it on the board down here. It'll give you a warning, but then you can put a contract board up and say, "Hey, can you go and complete that labor for me, Mr. Engineer," or whoever it actually is, and that's perfectly fine. However, we have to go through everything because there's no one else to rely on. And you can see we can do a few things in here. One, we can already make asphalt concrete if you really wanted to. If we had cement, we don't, and we can't make cement yet. However, we can make more simple things like stone road. We just need crushed stone. We'll get onto that in a little while. We need an arrastra for that, really. It's basically a giant... imagine a giant old stone mill, like at the bottom of a windmill or something like that, to crush things. Well, this does rocks instead of grain. So in here, we're going to want to get to the hand carts, wood cart, there it is, and eventually, of course, the powered cart will be amazing. But you need to get to cast iron stoves and iron wheels yet. We can't do that just yet. And also, basic upgrade 4, the main thing that we're going to be spending, basically making stuff here, is to get to the basic upgrade 4. So, wood cart it is. We'll want at least one of those, and that looks like we need not too much stuff in here, really. I've already put a basic upgrade 3 module in, so it's quite cheap. So a hand cart needs 2 basic wooden wheels, so let's just get those on the go. It's going to need 3 boards. We'll get for that from elsewhere, and some hewn logs. So I'm going to order one of those. Let's just dump the work in there, and then in storage, everything should be linked. It is, which means I should just be able to make hewn logs here, and should be quite cheap now because we're on, like, is it 40%? It is 40%. So that is going to be quite a lot we can make, I guess. Whoops, not there. 70 odd, yeah, 75. Let's put all the labor in there. And how many? Let me just get out of that mode. How many boards did it say we wanted in here? It said we want 3 boards, so we can just make 3 boards up the top. Okay, and I'll put those first, so it tries to make the boards first, and then when it can, then this recipe should then be enabled quicker. It needs 2 wooden wheels anyway. You can see all of those stuff being thrown in here, and once it's finished, we should have ourselves a wooden cart. I don't think we'll get that far in terms of XP from all of this. You can see down here, basic engineering specialty is only 1. Once it gets through with these recipes, we'll see that raise. However, we need to get to basic engineering 6. So stone roads it is, I think, which means we need to get to a crushed rock sort of ingredient. Thankfully, the arrastra, just one second, just make sure. Yep, yeah, the arrastra is made at the workbench over here, so we can get that going as well. We just need rocks, some more boards, and some of this. However, arrastras, I think, are the first mechanical power. I want to say yes. I'm going to put a couple of those on build. Having 2 different things running at once will be very good. And we're just going to ask this to make some more boards. Let's just tell it to make 10 more boards. Yeah, and all of you can go in there. What did I get? Basic engineering level 2. Good, good. So boards it is, arrastra, and I'm going to need a few more rocks. I think I'm running out of rocks. Not that I have a shortage of rocks around me, but I have to go and actually make them. Butchery is probably the next one up as well to think of. That'll just make everything a bit more efficient when I'm actually hunting. So that's a good one to have a butchery table for. Also, butchery tables actually improve your kitchen area. So if you get the chance to make one, and let me just put another 10 boards on here. If you get a chance to make one, do make one and throw it in your kitchen area. Hopefully that should help. Sometimes the tables, for example, let's take a fireplace. They don't seem to do anything when you first put them down, but when you fuel them with coal or wood, they will then apply to your housing score down here. You can see it's about 80.9 right now. So do bear in mind, sometimes they don't actually apply until you actually feed them with stuff. Is there anything in here that we actually want right now? We've got the masonry table already, research table, rocker box. There we go. So we're going to need rocker boxes to make sand, but also I want probably 3 or 4 of them. So that's 20 boards. This thing does not have a modules tab. So annoying. 20 boards and 12 logs. So we'll order 4 of those as well. They are going to basically take our crushed rock, of whatever kind it is, and we can turn it straight into sand, or we can take crushed ores, which is what the Arastra will do as well, and turn them into concentrate, which we can then smelt once we have the smelting skill. Now, I think, just create the smelting skill book. Is that smelting? Butchery. Let me just make sure I learn butchery first of all. Yep, there's another 5 land credits. Is it finished with smeltery, or is it still... Yeah, it's nearly done. 39 seconds. And I've also started some gathering and geology research. Geology basic tends to be the best basic. If on the right hand side here, you can see sometimes it just says any kind of basic research. And geology is just rocks. So you can just fill up the research requirements there with just the geology basic papers. And away you go from that. So yeah, so smelting. Butchery I've already made. There are some more things we're going to want in here. Cooking at some point too. And then you can see down here at the bottom the stuff that you actually need the various professions for, the various specializations. So you can see advanced smelting needs smelting, that kind of thing. Pretty normal, but I just thought I'd mention it. And was that the book ready? There's my butchery table. And there's the smelting skill book. So I'll just take that as well. We'll get some more land claims, and I can probably... In fact, let's just expand the land right now. Go onto the map, just in case you don't remember how to do this. I showed you last episode. Go onto properties, zoom in until you see the name at the bottom. Click on the name, click on edit, and then you can click wherever you like as far as claiming this is concerned. So in our case, you can claim separate areas over here, for our forest. But I'm not too concerned with that. I'm just going to start add to the claim down here, right-clicking, and just increasing the whole size of the area around the base. I don't have to do anything specific because I'm on single player, of course. Press submit and you're done. That's those out of the way, and you can put your claim tool away. You don't really... Oh, to put your claim tool away, you don't really need that most of the time. That means a butchery table is useful. So we're going to put that upstairs in our kitchen, not down here, even though that is a general room. Let's just see. We have 80.9 right now. Let me take... Let me take something away. This room needs to be bigger. Let's take you away. 79.6. Okay, does this actually affect it, or am I misremembering? 88.2. Yes, it does. So it's going to be a little bit of a hassle getting around in our house. But I can probably... In fact, yeah, I know what I can do. I can just grab you again. Grab you again. We're going to put the door here. And then put it back over here. Let's put a wall back in. There we go. And now we can throw that stool back down there and our butchery table here, and we can still get around. Yeah, in fact, that's a nicer layout. Okay, that's fine. So you can see in here we can butcher animals to get the raw meat, and there is prepared meat, I think, as well later. Is it prepared meat? Yes, it is. And that requires butchery level 2, but that comes from raw meat. And these will then get used in the cooking recipes that we have downstairs and different things like that. So useful to have it. I don't have butchery 1 yet to even start this whole process, but you can see we have carcasses that we can actually make. And it also gives us furs back and hides that we can then use with tailoring, which we also don't have yet. But, you know, working on things. So approaching the half an hour point, I think that's a good pace to actually break for the episode, because next episode we're going to have to get into mechanical power for the Arastras and maybe for the rocket boxes. I think it's just the Arastras though. I need to actually double check there, and that's just going to need to get more rocks, and then think about building a sort of the first sort of power area that we need. 2 options. One is windmill, which you need tailor for, so you can't do that yet. So that's only really one option, which is water wheels, which is just wood. And you can make that. Now, water wheels will work anywhere. You can just slap them on the side of the building, and technically they will provide mechanical power. That is normally frowned upon in servers. Certainly the one I've played for on even does not like that whatsoever. So you're going to want to basically either cut a channel from the river towards your base, or build a small room somewhere near water that you can indeed just... put water wheels on and have that as your area for processing stuff. I'm quite close to the river over here, so I may well think about just a small building to put together. You don't even need a building, really. The Arastras don't need to be put into a room. You can literally just put a water wheel on the side of on the side of a log, you know, like a hewn log, and then it'll provide mechanical power in a certain radius. So then you can put your arrastras around fairly close by. And I haven't decided quite where we're going to put it yet. Maybe you can put that in the comments below if you have any specific ideas. But otherwise, that's good for now. Also, you can stack water wheels by building them backwards from out to the base, back towards the base, towards your main block. We'll go into that as well to provide even more mechanical power should you need it. But to start off with, it's just going to need basically a 1 or 2 arrastras. And you can see there, I'm just short of stone and wood. So I'm off to go and do that, and we'll see at the start of the next episode for the mechanical power age. So this has been more of the, if you like, the upgrades, the basic upgrades episode. And we will want to get that basic upgrade 4. It just needs me to get quite a lot more stone roads done, which needs all the other bits and pieces. But wood carts, oh, is that the wood cart built? I think that might be the wood cart built. Oh, it's built. Oh, and while I'm there, just the end of the episode, number 1, a wood cart. Oh, I've missed you. And also the rocker box. I think this is new in update 9. It didn't used to exist in update 8 as far as I remember. But in here you can just feed any kind of silica. And that means crushed sandstone is ideal that we're getting from here. Once we get it crushed, that is. And it'll turn into sand, or you can indeed concentrate the various ores. I'm not going to need that just yet, so I'm just going to dump that in here. But yes, the hand cart, oh, so great. It's basically a mobile, sort of like a stockpile. It's not quite a stockpile in terms of size. It's about half a stockpile. But you can take it to wherever you're mining and drag all the stuff back at once instead of running backwards and forwards. Very, very handy to have. I haven't noticed them heading off into the atmosphere like they used to do in update 8 as well. So maybe they have a bit of a fix there. Anyway, I'll leave that for now. Thanks a lot for watching, and we'll see you next time.